In the heart of the nation lies a city steeped in mystery. Springfield, Missouri, a seemingly tranquil community, became the backdrop for one of the most perplexing disappearances in American history. This is the story of the Springfield Three. In 1992, Springfield, Missouri was a bustling city nestled in the heart of the Ozarks, known for its blend of urban amenities and small-town charm. With a thriving economy and the city's appeal as a regional hub for commerce, education, and healthcare, Springfield maintained a strong sense of community, with residents actively involved in local organizations, churches, and volunteer efforts. Generally considered a safe place to live, the disappearance of Stacy McCall, Suzie Streeter, and Suzie's mother Sherrill Levitt shocked the community. At the time of their disappearance, Sherrill Elizabeth Levitt was 47 years old, 5 feet tall, and weighed 110 pounds. With short, light blonde hair, brown eyes, and pierced ears, she was a cosmetologist at a local salon, and a single mother to her daughter Suzanne Elizabeth Suzie Streeter. Suzie was 19 years old, 5 feet 2 inches tall, 102 pounds, with shoulder-length blonde hair and brown eyes. She had several distinguishable marks, including a 3.5-inch scar on the upper right forearm and birthmarks on her chin and left cheek. She also had pierced ears, with her left ear double pierced. Stacy Kathleen McCall was 18 years old, 5 feet 3 inches tall, 120 pounds, with long dark blonde hair, blue eyes, a freckled face, and a distinctive dimple in the middle of her chin. While close friends earlier in life, Suzie and Stacy had drifted apart during their high school years, but still considered themselves good friends. On Saturday, June 6th, Suzie and Stacy were excited about starting the next chapter of their lives. Summer break was stretching before them, and excitement filled the air. After attending their graduation ceremony earlier that day from Kickapoo High School in Springfield, the girls began celebrating with friends and family. Little did they know this would be the last carefree moment they would ever share. The following day, Sunday, at around 9 a.m., Janelle Kirby and her boyfriend went to Suzie's home after Suzie and Stacy failed to show up to Janelle's as planned to spend the day at a water park in Branson, Missouri. Upon arriving, Janelle found the front door unlocked and entered, but found no sign of Stacy, Suzie, or Sherrill. The glass lampshade on the porch light was shattered, though the light bulb itself was intact. Janelle's boyfriend innocently helped her sweep the broken glass off the porch, which police would later determine may have destroyed potential evidence. Inside the house, Janelle found the family dog, a Yorkshire Terrier named Cinnamon, who appeared agitated. While inside, Janelle also answered a strange and disturbing call from an unidentified male who made sexual innuendos. She hung up and immediately received another call of a sexual nature, again hanging up the phone. Janelle and her boyfriend left the home without calling the police. 16 hours later, Stacy's mother, Janice, went to the Levitt Streeter home after Stacy failed to answer her phone calls. Inside, Janice noticed all 3 women's purses were sitting on the floor of the living room. She also saw her daughter's clothing neatly folded from the night before. Sherrill and Suzie's cigarettes were left inside the house. Janice frantically called police from the home's telephone to report the 3 women missing. After placing the call, while checking the phone's answering machine, she listened to what she considered a strange message, but it was inadvertently erased from the tape. Police responded to the Levitt Streeter home at 1717 East Delmar on Monday to find the house showed no signs of a struggle. All personal property was left behind, including purses, money, clothing, keys, cigarettes, and the family dog. The cars for all 3 women were still parked in the driveway. It did appear that Sherrill's bed had been slept in. Police soon came to believe the women had been abducted. As the investigation progressed, police were able to determine the movements of the trio prior to their disappearance. After the graduation ceremony, Stacy and Suzie made plans to attend a graduation party and then go to a water park in Branson, Missouri the following day. Between 8:15 and 8:30 p.m., the girls arrived separately to the home of friend Janelle Kirby in Battlefield, Missouri, about 10 miles from Suzie's home in Springfield. Leaving their cars at the Kirby house, the girls walked to a nearby party hosted by Brian Joy at 2002 Coach Drive. Brian told the girls they could spend the night at his house. At approximately 12:45 a.m., the girls, along with other friends, left Brian's party to attend another party at 1535 East Hanover Street in Springfield. Riding with others, the girls left their cars still parked at the Kirby residence. At 2:10 a.m., the group arrived back at Brian's house in Battlefield. At this point, Brian told the girls they could not spend the night. Janelle offered to let the girls spend the night with her. Once the girls returned to the Kirby residence, they found the house full of Kirby relatives who had come to celebrate Janelle's graduation, and decided that they would be more comfortable at Suzie's home. Before leaving the Kirby home at 2:20 a.m., in separate vehicles heading the 10 miles back to Suzie's, the girls made plans to join up with Janelle a little later to head to Branson. This would be the last time the girls would be seen alive. Suzie's mother, Sherrill, was last heard from at approximately 11:15 p.m. Saturday night when she talked with a friend about painting a chest of drawers. Police would later estimate the crime scene had been corrupted prior to their arrival by 10 to 20 people who had visited the house worried about the missing trio. With the assistance of the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Missouri State Highway Patrol, and numerous other law enforcement agencies, an extensive investigation into the lives of the missing women began. No positive leads concerning the reason for their disappearance has ever been determined. To this day, police do not have a clear picture of what happened. Early on in the investigation, several suspects emerged. Dustin Rikla, a former boyfriend of Suzie's, had broken into a Springfield mausoleum a few months before the women vanished and stolen $30 worth of gold fillings from a skull. Suzie had given investigators a statement about the mausoleum break-in and was rumored to be a probable witness against Dustin. Dustin and his two friends that helped in the mausoleum robbery were known to be together and in the area the night the women went missing. Michael Kovacs, another boyfriend of Suzie's, was also looked at. He and Suzie had a volatile relationship, and Suzie had filed for an order of protection from Michael several months earlier, claiming that he had beaten her, slashed her tires, and harassed her at home, work, and school. In 1997, Robert Craig Cox, imprisoned in Texas as a convicted kidnapper and robber, and the suspect in a Florida murder, told reporters that he knew the three women had been murdered and buried and claimed their bodies would never be recovered. At the time of the disappearance, Cox had been living in Springfield and had told investigators he was with his girlfriend at church the morning after the women disappeared, which the girlfriend corroborated. However, she later recanted her statement and said that Cox had asked her to lie. Cox also stated that he was at the home of his parents the night of the disappearance, and they confirmed this. Authorities were uncertain if Cox was involved in the case or if he was just seeking recognition for the alleged murders by issuing false statements. Cox has stated to authorities and reporters that he will not disclose what happened to the women until after his mother has died. In the aftermath of the disappearances, the community rallied around the families. Searches, vigils, and fundraising efforts were organized, demonstrating a strong sense of support and shared grief. Prior to the disappearances, Springfield was a quiet town. The sudden and unexplained disappearance of three women shattered the town's sense of security, forcing residents to confront the possibility of darkness lurking beneath the surface. The unsolved nature of the case has created a constant undercurrent of unease that remains to this day. Throughout the years, the case has been featured on shows such as 48 Hours, America's Most Wanted, Investigation Discovery, and People Magazine Investigates. On December 31, 1992, a man called the America's Most Wanted hotline with information about the disappearances, but the call was disconnected when the switchboard operator attempted to link up with Springfield investigators. Police said the caller had prime knowledge of the abductions and publicly appealed for the man to contact them again, but he never did. One theory that has persisted through the years is that the women's bodies were buried in the foundation of the south parking garage at Cox Hospital. Springfield police have determined that the person who reported this tip provided no evidence or logical reasoning behind the theory at the time or since. Construction on the garage began in September 1993, over a year after the disappearances, and it is assumed that any foundation work done at the time would have revealed any bodies buried there. Darrell Moore, former assistant at the Greene County Prosecutor's Office, said the tip came from someone who either claimed to be a psychic or claimed to have had a dream or vision about the case. New leads have prompted investigations on property in Webster County in August 2002 and on property in Berry County in April 2003. In 2007, crime reporter Kathy Baird invited Rick Norland, a mechanical engineer, to scan a corner of the parking garage with ground-penetrating radar. Norland found 3 anomalies roughly the same size that he said were consistent with a grave site location. 2 of the anomalies were parallel and the other was perpendicular. Without any reasonable belief that the bodies could be located there, the Springfield Police Department have determined this lead to not be credible and does not plan to investigate it further. Springfield police have logged 5,200 tips, given countless polygraphs to potential suspects, friends, and family members, searched the woods and fields throughout the Ozarks, and have followed leads into 21 states. Sherrill and Stacy were declared legally dead in 1997. However, their case files are still officially filed under missing. The disappearances are still actively investigated as tips come in. Today, the Springfield Three case remains unsolved. A constant reminder hangs heavy over the town. What really happened that night? Are the women alive? Are they dead? The question gnaws at everyone, a chilling testament to a mystery that refuses to be solved. The Springfield Three deserve justice. If you have any information, no matter how small, please contact the Springfield Police Department Crime Stoppers at 417-869-8477. Even a tiny detail could be the key to breaking this case. Let's not let their story become a forgotten footnote in history. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and may the truth reveal itself in the shadows.